NBA Straya. How are you going? How you going? Hope you're right. You should be. Why is that, Jim? Well, it's Wednesday, isn't it? December 4. Hump Day. What's this? 3 weeks till Chrissy? Have you done your shopping? Have you started your shopping? I hope you've started your shopping. I'll tell you what. I've done a little bit of shopping, and it's nowhere near enough. I'm already freaking out. Anyway, the NBA Cup. The group stages are set, so this is a fun day to dig into a whole bunch of basketball gear. And I am your host, James Clements. You can see my mug on, the NBL Supercoach show, the panel, the AFL Today show, NFL Australia, all the good stuff. Here in the fancy studios, the James Clements Excellence in Podcasting Memorial Studio, a.k.a. the Sports Today studio. Breaking down basically that final day of NBA Cup group play, which was just as chaotic as we thought. We went horribly on some of the picks, nailed a couple of other ones, so we'll talk all through that. The Mavs set a new record for free throws. Alfred Payton got waived. It's like, dude had 21 assists in a game the other day, and he got waived. It's a brutal business, the NBA. I'll tell you what. And LeBron got some fun stats about how bad he's been. So we've got the game wraps. We're going to set up the quarterfinals for the NBA Cup, and they are awesome, BT dubs. We've got That's Not a Knife, Old Mate, No Mate, Spud of the Night, Better Than Lonzo Ball, got some Giannis, Unpopular Opinion of the Day, and of course, our back take, yes, where we're serving up a flame grill take. There is an Andrew Gaze Grey Mumber Award for Outstanding Achievement in the Field of Excellence, and then a pick and preview for all the games tomorrow, which will be pretty fun. It's a little bit more chill than today, so thumbs up from your mate Jim, I'll tell you, and that'll do us. Should be a good one. All right, let's get into it. Episode 1168 of NBA Straya. Let's go!
This is Josh Giddey.
G'day, this is Andrew Gaze.
This is Jack White.
This is Joe Ingles.
This is Dyson Daniels.
This is Chris Anstey.
This is Matthew Delvedova.
This is Shane Hill.
Hi, this is Ryan Brockhoff.
This is Mitch Creek. This is Mick Kay.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening and watching NBA Straya.
This is NBA Australia. Let's do it.
Watch out for the shark attack.
Oh, you better. Or the Knicks attack if you're the Magic, but they still made it through. Or the Magic attack if you're the Celtics, because they missed out because of point differential. Oh, isn't that sad? Otherwise, let's do it. Should we get into the daily whoosh? It's the whip around. That's how we start every show here in NBA Straya. I'll tell you what. We always start NBA Straya usually with Jim just having a sook about something. And it's not so much a sook. I'm just tired. It sucks. Did the NBL show today. We did some shorts. We did a bunch of other stuff. And I'm just a bit rooted because I went to see Frank Turner at the SB last night. It was awesome out there in the Gershwin room. You know, having a nice old sing-along, but I'm just a bit cooked today. You know, a few tins. Really, Jim, did you have some beers? Yes, mother. But it was really, really, really fun. Not as much fun was hearing the squids wake up at like 6 a.m. and you're like, oh, I feel like I just got home. This sucks. So anyway, it did make for a pretty fun NBA game day today, trying to keep track of everything. And basically, some of the games were horrible, but then we had some absolute crackers towards the end. So let's start there with the quarterfinals. They are set now for the NBA Cup, which is really fun. We've got the knockout stages set up. So in the East, the number 1 seed, the Milwaukee Bucks. That's right. It's Algonquin for the good land. They end up 4-0. Point differential of plus 50. Not bad. Good size. The Knicks end up as the 2 seed with a point differential of plus 30. The Hawks kick as the 3 seed at 3-1 and a plus 15. And then the Magic sneak into the wild card with a point differential of plus 45 ahead of the Celtics. Point differential of plus 23. So that means we get the Bucks versus the Magic, which is awesome in the 1-4. And the 2-3 is Knicks Hawks. How good is that? Trae Young, MSG, knockout, baby. This is going to be awesome. And then out west, we finish off with the Oklahoma City Thunders as the 1 seed with a point differential of plus 45. The Rockets in the 2 spot with plus 40. The Warriors having won their group as well, plus 8. And then the Mavs sneak through with the point differential just very, very handily, plus 46. So away they went. The Suns could not smash the Spurs by, 1 millionty to overcome them. So there you go. That means we've got the Thunder versus the Mavs. Bang! And then the Rockets Warriors. Is it just me? No. Or are all these matchups awesome? This is why the NBA Cup rules. And I've got some more thoughts about the NBA Cup in a surprise twist. Oh, geez, Jim, have you got thoughts about things and you're going to yell about them? Yes. Yes, I am. But these matchups rule. It's going to be unreal. It would be way better if, more time had gone. 4 games is just not enough. It's just bloody stupid, and I'm a bit angry. Anyway, NBA Cup, 2 thumbs up. Elsewhere in the world of news, the players of the month were announced. That's kind of neat. It was SGA for the West. He only averaged a lazy 35 and 6. And Tatum averaged a 29, 8.5, 6. Not bad. They also have Defensive Player of the Month now. Wemby and Dyson Daniels. The Aussie gets it. How good is that? Very nice. Rookie of the Month goes to Jalen Wells of the West residing Memphis Grizzlies and Jared McCain. Oh, TikTok McCain, they call him. Oh, dance McCain. For the Sixers, obviously, for the East, Rookie of the Month. Look, the Wells one was pretty interesting. I reckon they're just who has been good for the West rookies? And they're like, oh, God. Maybe Jalen Wells. It's brutal. And then the coaches of the month, Kenny Atkinson in the East with the East leading Cleveland Cavaliers. And then in the West, it was Ime Udoka with the Rockets, which is pretty interesting. Mark Daigneault, he's going to be like, what more can I do? He's not French, but still. Anyway, other little bits and bobs of news. Paul Millsap retired. That's right. Remember Thrillsap? I absolutely love Thrillsap. He had that amazing game where he just torched the LeBron era Heat and ripped off a massive, massive, massive game when he was on the Yaz, did Thrillsap. 16 years. But, he also hasn't played for a couple. It was a bit of a weird one. It's wait, Paul Millsap wasn't he already retired? Sure, he wasn't. Okay. The Pelicans, as I mentioned earlier, have waived Elfrid Payton and his big old hair. Averaging 6.7 points, 6.9 assists, 3.4 rebounds in 7 games for the Pelicans. Bit of a rough one, but they got DeJounte Murray and a couple of their dudes back, so see ya, Alfred. And then finally, Jared Vanderbilt, dealing with some more fluid in his knee. He's targeting an early January return now for the Lakers. I'll tell you what, they need him. They need all the help they can get. Yeah. All right, let's do some game wraps from today's games because that's about all the news. There wasn't anything too chaotic, really. Kevin Durant twisted his ankle in the game against the Spurs. He's got a sprained left ankle. And I don't know, LeBron's I want to play 82 games, but I probably won't. It's yeah, because you're 100 million years old. Righto, today's games. Let's do it. Game wraps. All right, Philly held on to beat Charlotte 110-104. Paul George is good again. This is what I sort of was I had picked Charlotte, and they only lost by 6. They were 4.5-point underdogs at home. They just could not get enough from everyone else on offense. They were down by 12 out of the gate. Paul George, Maxey, and McCain sort of just put him to the sword. They made a little bit of a run late, but it was too late. Without LaMelo, even at home, they just couldn't quite do it. But I'll tell you what, that court looked awesome. I love the Hornets court. I love most of these. There we go. That's the qualifier. I love most of these NBA Cup courts because if you've got a grey one, you're a bunch of cowards. Even the dark blue ones are pretty sick and pretty weird. But then you have awesome, spectacular ones like, the Toronto purple. You've got the crazy aqua green of the Charlotte Hornets. Teal, I guess. Anyway, that's great. Miller had 34 points for the Hornets. He's awesome. Brandon Spindles Miller. It's probably going to be good for him without LaMelo for a couple of weeks anyway. He's just going to go absolutely ham. Nick Richards was also good as well, 22 and 14. The Sixers, 29 and 8 for Paul George. He went 6 of 9. Nice from 3. 21-7 for Maxey, 17 for McCain. Charlotte are 6-15, and look out, Philly are 5-14 now. They're still bad, but they're not like burn it all to the ground bad yet. Maybe. If they had lost that, it would have been, ooh. Speaking of bad, that would be the Washington Wizards, because they're horrible. And the Cleveland Cavaliers absolutely just shit pumped them today. 118-87. It wasn't even that close. They have now lost 15 on the trot. The Wiz. Jordan Poole's not even trying. My name is Jonas Valanciunas, went in the starting lineup, had 13 and 11, and you're like, oh, yeah, this is bad. 13 for Poole. It was just gross. They're gross. They're an abomination of a team. The Cavs were like training run, 16 of 46 from three. Donnie Mitchell, 19. Mobley, 19. They smashed them. Whatever. Cleveland are now an amazing 19-3. That is awesome. The Wiz are 2-17. It's amazing. Milwaukee. So these are the games that mattered. Milwaukee, Detroit. This was for the group. Love it. And the Bucks crushed them. 128-107. Big second quarter. Just Detroit never got close again. It was the Detroit defense. And this is the thing. Detroit's defense against good teams, when they take them unawares and the other team is kind of like, it's Detroit, they're pushovers. Detroit can sort of just pull it all together and keep up with the team and sort of sneak out some of these wins. We've seen them do it time and time again this season. Milwaukee came into this one a little bit prepared. I ended up picking the Bucks yesterday and on like the NBA Strayas vibes video in the morning. And the 42-28 second quarter, it was just like the Bucks going, let's just win this because we're going to win the group then. And we're through. They shot 56% from the floor and from three. They went 23 of 46 from downtown. It was a great display from the Bucks. You had Brook Lopez behind his head, passes looking like bloody Jokic and stuff. It was awesome. They crushed it. The Pistons had 18 turnovers and never just looked like they were in it after that second quarter. Cade at 23-6. Jaden Ivey, not great. Went 3-10. He had 8-5. And that's kind of the thing. This is why I reckon they should be trading for Brandon Ingram. Like, you just need that extra dude. Like, Brandon Ingram is the Paul George of Tobias Harris's, right? You've got Tobias Harris, so why not upgrade to the Paul George of Tobias Harris's in Brandon Ingram? Like, just they need that extra scoring punch. Anyway, the Bucks, Dame had 27-4-5. He hit 5 threes. Giannis had 28 points. Didn't miss a shot forever. He went 10 of 11 from the floor. He was hitting mid-ranges. It was nuts. 7 rebounds, 8 assists. Great game from him. Terrence Trent D'Arby Jr., he had 16 as well. Great game from the Bucks. They're now 11-9. They've won 7 on the trot. Look out. And the Pistons are 9-14. Starting to look a little bit wobbly, but they're not catching teams unawares in the NBA Cup apparently anymore. Then, the other game that really mattered in the East, obviously, was another battle for the group. Orlando, the Knicks, and the Knicks fucking killed them. It was just, the Magic. Jalen Suggs couldn't hit a shot, and if you don't have that one vaguely reliable scorer next to Franz, you got no hope. So Suggs goes 14-3-3, but he shot 5 of 16. And, like, usually that means that Suggs is doing a job on the opposition's, like, lead scorer, their best guard. And Jalen Brunson wasn't, like, awesome, but he was good enough and, like, able to distribute. And the Knicks were just passing it fucking beautifully. Like, they were just running rings around the Magic. There was a moment, like, the Magic got out to an awesome lead early, and you're like, let's go, come on, Orlando. And then the Knicks went, here's, like, 10 awesome assists on 16 buckets and, like, ripped the game away and never looked back. And the thing is, the Knicks can do this to teams every so often, right? They just do this sometimes. It's like, we've got 6 dudes, and tonight, all of them are going to be pretty fucking good. And then some of the nights they'll be like, 2 of our 6 good dudes aren't feeling it, and we might just scrape by. Sometimes we're like, 4 of our 6 dudes are having a bit of a shit day, and you're like, oh God, the Knicks got killed. So the Knicks, though, have this in them where they go, this is why they're going to be so fucking dangerous in the NBA Cup, but then also the playoffs, because like Tibbs is going to go, I'm playing 6 guys, fuck off. And you're like, yeah, that figures. And they're just going to make you fucking earn it. And it's pretty cool. Like France led 30-6 today, and they got 20-12 from his dumb, big, pumpkin-headed brother, Mo. And like Kat and he got like texts for clapping at each other at one point. It was very stupid. Still, Orlando, they have these sorts of games as well, right? If Suggs is not scoring, if they're not getting enough from elsewhere from that starting lineup, it's hard. Like France can do a lot of the heavy lifting, but if no one else is going to be really vaguely efficient around him outside of his big pumpkin-headed brother, it's going to be a struggle, and it was a big struggle today. 121-106, end up losing it. Cat had 23-15 for the Knickerbockers. 21-4 for Jalen Brunson. And Josh Hart had a triple-double. He had the Jason Kidd triple-double, the 11, 13, and 10. Not bad. Mikal Bridges had 19-5, looking very handy. VOG Anunoby, 18. Deuce McBride, 18. See, that's it. It's like, there's your 6 good dudes, all good. You smashed a good team. That's what the Knicks can do. That's why they're fucking dangerous. The Magic, 15-8. The Knickerbockers, 13-8. It's crazy that they played 2 less games, but anyway. Indy lost in Toronto. Nailed this pick, just saying. 122-111, bang. The road Pacers. Even though Halliburton had a good game, I think I said in the power rankings that it's because Canada is basically a country version of Indiana. And so I guess Tyrese Halliburton's like, I feel pretty at home here, so I'll be good. Maybe Caitlin Clark was in the crowd. We just didn't see her. But anyway, Raps kept them arm's length. Halliburton was really good. Everyone else sucks. Siakam did not have a revenge game at all. Benny Mathurin had 17, but Halliburton had 34 and 6, shot 10 of 16, including 4 of 9 from downtown. But Siakam went 4 of 13, and they got rolled by Scotty Barnes. Oh, what a game. 54% from the floor as a team against 45%, but Scoob had 35, 6, and 9. Not bad. 3 of 7 from deep, 13 of 20 from the floor. Career high. He was awesome. RJ Barrett had 29, 9, and 5 as well. That was a good win for Toronto. They are now 7 and 15. Indy dropped to 9 and 13. OKC smashed Utah because Utah are shithouse. 133-106. The Jazz just looked cooked. Lowry just looked kind of like slow and injured. OKC had like a 22-6 run after they were down early, and then just that was it. Utah just never got into it. They ran away with it in the third quarter and just like fucking blew them out. Sexton 17, Kessler 17-11, 13-6 for Lowry. It's just, yeah, brutal. Whereas the Thunder, J-Dub and SGA fucking killed it. 28-2 5 for J-Dub. SGA with 26-6 and 7, both wildly efficient as well. 12 of 18 for J-Dub and 11 of 19 for SGA. Not bad. And Isaiah Joe hit 5 threes as well. He got to 19 points. The Jazz, a pretty under the radar, 4 and 17. Jesus. Whereas OKC, 16 and 5 and top of the West. Not bad. Then we had an absolute corker in another game that mattered for the NBA Cup. The Mavericks beat the Grizzlies 121-116. Needed to beat them by like 4 at the end. But anyway, what a fourth quarter. They set a record for 27 free throws in the fourth quarter. Now, if you think that's a bit bodgy, you're not the only one. Dinwiddie, he was hotter than fish grease down the stretch as well, just smoking threes as they just completely overran him. It was an insane run where the Mavs just hunted them down and like ran over the top of them. And you're like, what the hell is going on? And I think it was like a 22-5 run in the end that the Grizzlies just stopped scoring. Like, it sucked. It was a 16-3 run with Dallas down 8 points, 111-103 with like 3.5 minutes. 3.5 minutes to go. They were down 111-103. They win at 121-116. 16-3 run. Absolutely absurd. Luka, Spencer Dinwiddie, Kyrie couldn't do shit, and they still won. That's huge for this Mavs team. The Grizz, yeah, it's not great. They fell apart. Ja, he was okay, 31-4, shot 11-22, 3-6 from 3. Down the stretch, though, jeez. Just the shot selection from that entire Grizzlies team was fucking horrible. Desmond Bane had 19. He was just like clanking shit. Triple J, 5 of 14 in the end for 16 and 7. He was like fucking T-Rex arming threes. You're like, dude, what are you doing? From the Mavs, Luka had 37, 12, 4 and 4. Not bad. Good size. The Steelers, like, as they were sort of putting together these back-to-back possessions of like, oh, turnover, sick, let's go. He just like would get a steal, easy bucket, hit a shot, and and it was really, really impressive. Dinwiddie, 16 and 5. He went 3 of 5 from deep, including those ones late that just fucking buried him. They got 18, 8 and 7 from PJ Hamilton, Washington. You got Derek Lively with 17, 11. Kyrie shot 3 of 14. But either way, the Grizzlies, 14 and 8. And amazingly enough, same as Dallas, 14 and 8. That's awesome because it was not long ago that the Mavericks were a 500 team. They have now won 5 on the trot. And I believe, is that 9 of their last 10? Hot diggity damn. And the one that they did lose was to Houston in overtime. Jesus. No, to Miami in overtime. And that stupid Spencer Dinwiddie game that he cooked. Anyway, San Antonio lost in Phoenix as well, 104-93. Wemby couldn't hit a shot, and the Suns just ran over the top of them. Then they lose KD, and the Spurs kind of tracked him down a bit, and Phoenix just pissed him off again. Wemby was horrible. The Spurs were horrible. They shot 8 of 44 from downtown. I'm no math magician, but that's fucked. 35% from the floor. Wemby goes 6 of 18. 1 of 9 from 3. So he's taken half his shots from downtown, which is fucking stupid. Mate, you're 7 foot 400. Just fucking get closer to the bucket and just put it in. What are you doing? 1 of 9 from 3. You're taking the piss, Wemby. 4 turnovers, 1 block, 15, 13, and 7 in the end. Stephon Castle, 16 points on 14 shots. He's still good, but yeesh. And Devin Vassell at least had 25. But for the Suns, you got 29, 9, and 5 from Booker, 16 from Tyus Jones. KD had 13 and 16 minutes before he left at halftime and didn't come back. Good win for the Suns. Just saying. They needed that. 12 and 8. San Antonio, 11 and 10. Golden State fell apart against Denver, 119-115, an 11-0 run at the very end of this game by the Nugs. In the last 2.5 minutes, Jokic gets fouled right at the end. Steve Kerr reckons that, Christian Brown was calling a timeout as he sort of fell on the ball and he's out there screaming at refs. 24, 7, and 11 for Curry. 19 for Johnny Kuminga, old cum dog millionaire. And not much else. Pods, he had 13, 4, and 4. No Draymond, as I mentioned. And boom, the Nugs got 38 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists, 5 steals from the Joker. Shot 14 and 24. He was unreal. 22-7 for MPJ, 12 and 8 for Jam and Jamal Murray. Good win for the Nugs because they looked cooked. They did look like they had no chance. 11-0 run at the end, though. They just gave them the old clamps. The Warriors couldn't hit a shot. And the Nuggets bloody won. It was nuts. Golden State dropped now to 12 and 8. They've lost 5 on the trot. And the Nugs are up to 11 and 8. Houston fell apart against Sacramento. Everybody got thrown out at the end. Ime Udoka, Alpi Şengün, Dylan Brooks fouled out. It was horrible. The Rockets, what the hell? I was so upset about how bad this team looked all of a sudden. You had Şengün with 24, 8, and 6. You had Jalen Green with 28, 7, and 3, 5, 8 from deep. But Fred VanVleet suddenly couldn't hit a shot. He had 13 points on 6 of 17 shooting, 1 of 10 from downtown. Gross! And then Tari Eason, 16 and 12, but they just got nothing else. It was brutal. 27, 7, and 4 for the Souvlaki King, DeMartis Sabonis. Fox had 22, 6, and 7. You got 17 and 12 from Malik Monk. 12 assists from Malik Monk. Very nice. And a 16, 6, and 5 from DeRozan, which feels like the right mix, right? You don't need 20 plus from DeRozan. I'd rather see Sabonis punishing a team like Houston in the guts, and that's what happened. Even Kevin Huerter contributed. He had 3 of 7 from 3 for his 13 points. Houston now 15 and 7. Little bit wonky. They'd already won through the group stage, but still, you'd rather see them win this game. Sacramento, big win. They're 10 and 12, I think. I'm going to check that. But yes, Sacramento desperately needed that one. And then finally, Portland Clippers. We got do-up, bop, do-up out there at the end because the Clippers fucking killed them. 127-105. The Blazers on the road. It's just like, this is what they do sometimes. 3-9, away from the Rose Garden. And boom, they got smoked. DeAndre Ayton, 16. You got 15 from Shaedon Sharp, but he shot 4 of 7. And I'm like, he needs to shoot more. Anthony Penny-Simons, 2 of 11. Brutal. And yeah, Jeremiah and Grant, 5 of 11 for his 12. 15 for Denny Avdija. 15, 3, and 3 for Denny. Yeah, he needs to go back to starting. He's a weapon. I love it. And Duop got out there for 6 points in 7 minutes. He shot 2 of 3, all of which were from downtown. The Blazers. Sometimes they are just lost Harib. Norm Powell had 30. James Harden had 23 and 7. And Big Zoobs with 8 and 10. 15 for Derek Jones Jr., 19 for Amir Coffey. He has those random games where he goes, hey, tonight I'm going to hit 5 threes. Check it out. Boom. Goes 5 or 7. They shot 51.4% from 3. 19 to 37. Not bad clips. And 55% from the floor. Now, I've hit on the Intuit Dome vibe. Yeah, seems to be working. They're now 9 and 4 at home. It's not bad, clips. Not bad. And there you go. That was a big day. Let's do an NBA Straya Pro performance of the night.
That's not a night. That's a night.
Oh, yeah. A couple of familiar faces. Jokic, that was an awesome game. Like the way that he led them back into that game when they had no business being there was awesome. 38, 10, and 6 with 5 steals, 14 and 24 from the floor, as I mentioned, 3 or 4 from deep. Just absurd. Luka, hell of a game from him as well, as mentioned, 37, 12, and 4. Shot the piss out of it as well. J-Dub and SGA with their respective 28 and 26s, super efficient. But I'm just saying, Scotty Barnes, what a great game. 35, 6, and 9. He did have 7 turnovers, but they've put the ball in his hands. He's the point guard, and the Raptors have gone 3 and 1. I think I said this in the power rankings, but oh, geez, you think giving the ball to your best ball handler and making him your point guard, that's suddenly working? Ready. Ring-a-ding-ding-ding-ding. Oh, duh! No shit, Sherlock. Bloody hell. He was great. I love me some Scoob. When he's up and about, the raps are fun as shit. So, good stuff there. All right, spot of the night.
Spud. Spud of the night.
Spot of the night. We had plenty of spuds in the final day of group play in the NBA Cup. 0 of 7 for Marcus Smart. Zachy Collins, 0 of 7 as well. Jet Howard, oh, God. He's having a rough one, is the young fella. He went 0 of 6. 0 of 5 for Dean Wade and Jarace Walker. Jarace Walker, look, for such a high draft pick, he is not doing much. I'm just saying, it's pretty brutal. Outside of that, we got 1 of 9 for Chris Paul as well. That was pretty gross, I'll tell you that much. What else? We got 1 of 8 for Harrison Barnes. Bilal Coulibaly went 1 of 7. Anthony Penny-Simons, I mentioned that, 2 of 11 for him. 3 of 14 for Kyrie Irving. Absolutely brutal. And just a reminder, LeBron James is 0 of 19 from downtown in his last 4 games. That's the second most attempted threes without a make in any 4-game span in NBA history. Yeesh. I love that it's behind 2020 RJ Barrett. That's so great. But crazily enough, on a day where I'm going to go see 311 for the first time ever, I'm pretty sure no one actually shot the magic number. Like, what the hell, man? Have some respect, NBA. Can we get one person to shoot 311? No. No one did. What an absolute outrage. It's an outrage. It is. It really is. That's horrible. Can't wait to go see 311 tonight. We should just play the drop anyway, because why the bloody hell wouldn't I? Yeah! Woo! Cannot wait for that tonight. All right, what about a bit of old mate, no mates?
Old mate, no mate.
Old mate, no
Old mate,
mates.
no
Old mate, no
mate.
mates.
Old mate, no mates.
Old mate, no mates.
Old mate, no mates. I love this. So JJ Redick has said that he told his team and the media that their performance the other day against the Nugs was an aberration, but it's looking more and more like it's not an aberration. He said of their offensive woes. Old mate, no mates, JJ Redick is already copying it from certain sections of the Lakers fandom. I'm just saying, welcome to the Lakers head coaching club, JJ, as the Lakers fans point to anybody not named LeBron James for them being shithouse. It's definitely some old mate, no mates territory, and he probably knew that this was going to happen at some point, but now that they're 12 and 9, they've gotten 5 and 5 in the last 10. And like the new shiny toy thing has sort of worn off a bit on JJ Redick. Yeah, the finger's already pointing. So it's a bit of an old mate, no mates. Who's got no mates? LeBron's not going to back you up. It's like, oh, but we had a podcast, LeBron. He's like, I don't fucking care. It's your fault. You're here for me to throw under the fucking bus as needed, coach. That's the LeBron James motif, isn't it? All right, pantsing of the night. There was a great Derek Lively absolute fucking yam on Triple J today. Enjoyed that a lot. Like, it was brutal. But also, Cat Cat was like throwing behind the fucking head, no look passes between the legs and shit like this. It was pretty cool. And the Brook Lopez like fucking Jokic pass to the corner three was very, very nice. All pantsings. Finally, better than Bronny James.
Lonzo was the best player in high school. He was the best player in college. You think he'll get to the pros and be like, I made it to the pros, now I can be average. We're coming for everybody.
Coming for everybody. Better than Bronny James. How about Jared McCain? Every time the Sixers were like, we okay? He'd just go, yeah, we're all right. Check this out. Like, it's amazing watching he and Maxey just work. And it's one of these weird ones where the Sixers are just, like, they're kind of like a fun hate watch. But McCain and Maxey are so fucking likable that you're like, I can't hate you guys. I can hate you, Paul George. You get out of here. Get out of here, you. That's how Paul George feels. But still, Jared McCain, 17 points again, 7 of 10 from the floor, 3 of 4 from downtown. Let's fucking go. Jared McCain, you're a legend. All right, let's do some yeah-nahs right after this.
This is Cam Glidden.
This is Anthony Drimmick.
This is Mitch McCarron.
This is Jason Kadee.
This is Darryl McDonald.
Hey guys, this is Hugh Greenwood.
Yo, what's going on? This is Illy.
This is Mark Worthington, or commonly known as Wortho, and you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA
And you're
Straya.
listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Straya.
All right, let's do it. Ready for some yeah-nahs? Hey, Jim. Are the Mavs all good now? Yeah, nah. Well, yeah, they've won 9 of their last 10. That one that they lost was a fucking brain fart-a-thon from Spencer Dinwiddie, who's then subsequently fucking won them a bunch of games. But more importantly, their defense is back in their last 10 games. In that 10-game stretch, their defense is up into 8th in terms of defensive rating. That was always the sort of thing, right? Like, you don't have Luka for a bunch of those games, just saying, he's a fucking turnstile. But if everybody else around Luka is also just playing fucking lights out defense, that is your entire vibe, right? Like, that's how this just works. Like, if you got Luka and Kyrie, and then that combination of PJ Hamilton, Washington, Najee Marshall, Derek Lively, just dudes who are lengthy, smart, defensive sort of, not even just like, oh, I'm a dog. No, just capable. Like, just let's go. You're laughing. And then, of course, their offense is also top 4. So that helps. Like, it's weird because I actually don't mind that Kyrie led, oh, we don't have Luka. What are we going to do? It's like, well, here's Kyrie as the fulcrum of everything with a bunch of fucking massive wings and a good center. And you're like, oh, shit, this works too. But yeah, the Mavs are all right. This is always going to be the problem of like Luka, how much attention to detail is he going to have on defense? It's usually fucking none. If he even just fucking tries, then you're laughing. But if the defense kicks in, Dallas are thumbs up. How about the Bucks, Jim? Are they all good now? Yeah, nah, yes-ish. Not quite. Well, I mean, talk about fixing stuff. Their offense is up to 5th in their last 10 games. As I mentioned, they've won 7 on the trot. And defensively, they're also up to 7th. So, yes, top 7 in defense, top 5 in offense in the last 10 as well. It's handy. It's what it all comes down to, right? It's defense-led shit. It's like, hey, we know our offense is fine. We've got Giannis and we've got Dame. It's the same with Dallas. We've got Luka, we've got Kyrie. It's like the other end of the ball. If that fucking works, we're going to win games. And that's exactly what they've done. So, not bad, not bad. Should Jalen Wells be the West Rookie of the Month? Yeah, nah. I mean, yeah, because if you have a look at the rookie rankings and ladders, there's not too many more of them that are like, oh, hey, who's out there in good? And you're like, yeah, there's not many of them in the West. So Jalen Wells, it's like, literally though, it did feel like they've just gone, who of the rookies is scoring like in double digits? Who are the top two? It's like Jared McCain and Jalen Wells. And you're like, oh, well, let's just give them Rookie of the Month. But Stephon Castle is probably a bit overlooked here. And it was weird that he didn't get the nod because I think he's been fucking spectacular the last few weeks. So I almost expected Dalton Connect to get it because of the Lakers fucking shine and just everyone like blowing the Lakers. And so when Jalen Wells was announced, I'm like, oh, that's a bit of a pleasant surprise because he's actually been fucking good out of absolutely nowhere for a really, really tough, hardcore, awesome Grizzlies team. So that was pretty fun. Good on him. Way to go, Jalen Wells. It's also funny that he's the best rookie on a Memphis Grizzlies team that had like the favorite for Rookie of the Year in Zach Edey. But Edey's been hurt. What are you going to do? What about a bit of an unpopular opinion of the day?
Now look at me, please. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me.
Hey, the NBA Cup group stages being done is stupid as hell. What are we doing? Seriously, like 4 games is fucking dumb. Like, who looked at this entire thing and went, we really need to drive engagement for the regular season. All right, well, let's make sure that that finishes by mid-December. Like, what the fuck? My biggest thing as well, as I've sort of dug in and like just watched more and more of this NBA Cup stuff. So, you have your NBA Cup games and you've got your 2 home games for some teams. Yeah, everyone's got 2 home games and 2 away. So you're only showcasing your chaotic, awesome, crazy court for the NBA Cup, the big hullabaloo, twice. In an entire season are we seeing your crazy NBA Cup court. You know what people are not going to fucking remember in March and April of this year, in July next? They're not going to fucking remember the in-season tournament NBA Cup shit. And especially this home court vibe where you're like, oh, we're trying to just like drive like engagement and make it fun and everything. It's like, so 2 home courts of your NBA Cup all year. Who thought that was a fucking good idea? How is it not 8? Like, if we go November, December, January, February, boom. We're running the NBA Cup over the first 4 months of the season. We have the final at the end of February. You're getting 2 home games a month with your crazy NBA Cup gear and your awesome court, your jerseys, all that sort of shit. If the NBA had any fucking sense, it'd do this. You get 8 home games per team with the special courts. That's like, a fifth of all your home games, basically. That's special as fuck. That's awesome. That's fans loving it. It runs all the way through the end of February because that basically, if you want people to stay engaged, you've got everyone engaged all the way through fucking November, January, or November, December anyway. Like December, you've obviously got Christmas and shit, but still, you go November, December, January, the doldrums of January. February, you've got the All-Star break in there as well, but you build around that. End of Feb comes, you go, bang, here's the quarterfinal knockouts, here's the semis, we're going to Vegas, check it out. Boom. And then you've got like a month left in the season for the sprint of the playoffs. Boom. Everybody's constantly fucking engaged. I'm just saying, I'm an ideas man. This shit isn't rocket surgery. Come the fuck on, NBA. Everyone's invested. Everyone's digging it all the way through. To have 4 fucking games is just absurdly stupid. It's like, oh, we'll play NBA Cup. Yay. It's like 4 fucking games in the group stage. It's just stupid. Anyway. So, boom. Across 4 months of the regular season, NBA Cup, you play basically what? 1 game per week per team is an NBA Cup game that you've got. So 2 per month. You've got your awesome home court and your jersey shit. It writes itself. Why am I doing this for free, NBA? Come on, mate. Come on. And finally, a little bit of Outback Bloody Takehouse. It's Wednesday at Outback. You know what that means? Yep, Jim and the squids walking to school today and shit. Bang! We kicked a possum to death. Oh, God. Just to tenderise the bastard, then chucked it over the spit to slow roast at home. And that's right, slow roasted possum only in Outback. And today's Flame Grill take is, fuck it, Philly should trade Paul George as soon as they can. Actually, no, look, Detroit, I keep banging on this one. Detroit need that one extra little bit of offensive oomph. Go get Brandon Ingram. The Pelicans are fucked. They need to get rid of him anyway. You've already got Cade. You've already got Jaden Ivey. You've got your Thompson twin. You've got Jalen Duren. Just go get like a slightly better wing that isn't Tobias Harris. Spindles Ingram might not be the long-term solution, but still, he's going to make your team a bit more fun. Go do it. Go do it. All right. How about a bit of Aussie player watch? The Australian player watch for today. No Nets, no Bulls, so that means no Simo or Giddy. But Josh Green in that loss to Philly, he played 36 minutes and had exactly 0 points. He went 0 of 3 from the floor, 4 rebounds, 2 assists and a turnover. Tough one for our man Greeny. No Atlanta, so no Dyson Daniels. Johnny Furphy copped did not play coach's decision against the Raps in that loss for Indy. The Wolves did not play as well, so no Jingles. Paddy Thrills, Paddy Mills, copped did not play in the loss to Oklahoma City. Rock'em, Sock'em, Block'em, Jock'em, Landale, and the Unabomber, Jack McVeigh, also. Cop did not play coach's decisions in the loss to Sacramento. So as I mentioned at the top, yeah, it was a bit of a rough one for the Aussies until we got to the very end of the Portland Clippers game. Because we got, obviously, no Luke Travers either in the Cavs game, which is obviously brutal. But we did get do-up, bop, do-up, shubba-dop, do-up. The great Barry Aretha himself, do-up, got out there for a little bit of a run against the Pacers. He went 2 or 3 from the floor, as I mentioned. So 6 points in 7 minutes because he hit 2 threes, no fucking round. He had 1 foul. He was a +2 in 7 minutes. In a game they lost by 22. Not bad. And Aussie Matty T, still out with his, he's got a sprained right ankle they're listing now. So it was his knee injury management, but what are you going to do? All right, the Andrew Gaze Grey Mum Award for Outstanding Achievement in the Field of Excellence.
Andrew Gaze Grey Mamba.
Bum, 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 bum. Outstanding achievement in the field of excellence. Righto, easy. Josh Hart. He had another triple-double today. 11 points, 13 rebounds, 10 assists. That's his 8th triple-double as a Nick. 8th, not bad. That also ties Julius Randle, for 4th all-time for the Knickerbockers. That's crazy. Josh Hart, 4th all-time for the triple-doubles for the Knicks. Unreal. But also, Peyton Pritchard, just a heads up, he has 345 bench points at the moment. I think that's 80 ahead of anybody else. That dude is absolutely unreal and 100% like locked in for 6th man of the year. Incredibly enough, though, if you want an Andrew Gaze Grey Mumble Award for Outstanding Achievement in the Field of Excellence, you got to look at the entire thing when it comes to LeBron James and this shooting slump that he's going through right now. So he's shot under 50% from the floor in each of his last 6 games. It's pretty bad, right? It has been 20 fucking years, 20, since LeBron had 6 consecutive games shooting less than 50% from the floor. 20 years! That's it. That's how good he's been for that fucking long. It's absurdly incredible. I love that. And another one, in terms of excellence, how about excellence in losing? The Washington Lizards, the Wizards. You got to take away that Wizards because they don't have the W. So the Washington Lizards, as mentioned, 0-14 in November. 13 of those ones came by more than 10 points, or 10 or more points, right? That also tied an NBA record for the most double-digit losses in a month. So they're out there just breaking records, well, tying records. That was done by the Clippers in March of 1987 and the Mavericks twice in 1992 and 1993, December and January. So, yeah, not great. That's how bad they are. They're setting new standards of excellence in losing, are the Washington Wizards. Love that. All right, quick Patty Mills Game Day Baller Game Day Twitter check-in where we just have a look at Jim's phone and see what he's been up to. Hopefully Patty's been doing something. Oh, there's some giddy. Oh, going through his legs. That's a great photo. And then he's looking pretty sharp in his top with his bag and his handbag. Oh, a picture of him and Wazza going to Colorado for a bit of a tryout. when he was a kid. Oh, isn't that nice? That's actually kind of cool. Great job, everybody. Let's see if there's anything from Patty Mills. No, nothing new. All right, good stuff. All right, let's do some picks for tomorrow's games in the game previews. Game previews, game previews. Thanks, Inadvertent Bane. Not a problem, Jim. How's it all going? Oh, yeah, I'm cooked, but I'm about to go see 311. So I'm fucking laughing. Have some tins. Have a bit of a fucking dance. Jump around. It's going to be sick. I can't wait. Anyway, tomorrow we've got 6 games. We've got Detroit at Boston. They're 14.5-point underdogs, are the Detroit Pistons. On a back-to-back in Boston. It feels like a smashing, doesn't it? Detroit do tend to play teams pretty tight, but today was really, really worrying where they just looked all out of sorts, especially against a really good team. 14.5 is so many fucking points, though. We've seen a Boston team just kick the living shit out of Miami the other day, especially at home. They only beat the Wiz last week by 12. They did absolutely then go out and fucking kill the Clippers. I feel like the Pistons on a back-to-back, you'd want to err on the side of going, hey, Boston are really good. And I think that's what I've got to do. I don't want to. Actually, fuck it. We're going Detroit. We love Detroit here on NBA Straya. They're fun. They'll fight. We've then got Indy in Brooklyn. Now, Brooklyn, remember, Ben Simmons dealing with knee injury stuff. You've got Cam Johnson also dealing with injury gear. You've got Dorian Finney-Smith under an injury cloud. So it's basically Schroeder, Dennis Schroeder, German Rondo, and Nick Claxton and a bunch of other dudes. I'm going to have to look, Indy on the road. They just lost to the Raptors, but they should be too good for Brooklyn. So they're only 1.5-point favorites. We're going to go Indy. Then we've got Miami versus the Lakers. How good is this? Miami hosting the Lakers. LeBron James heading home to one of his many homes. The Heat are 1.5-point favorite. So Jimmy Butler sat out that game against the Celtics where they get their heads kicked in. If he's good, I'm taking Miami. Bam versus AD. LeBron and just like company just going, hey, check this out. Are we any good? I can't hit shots anymore. You know that LeBron's going to show up. But I just kind of trust Miami's depth a little bit more. I know I keep shitting on Miami, but outside of Jimmy Butler and Bam, they've still got at least Tyler Hero. There's Terry Rozier and a couple of other dudes. Duncan Robinson might hit some threes. The Lakers, without with a couple of their dudes under injury clouds as well, it's suddenly D'Lo, AD, LeBron, and if they're not hitting shots, you're fucked. So let's go Miami. Orlando visit Philly. So Philly having just played Charlotte and Orlando having just gotten their heads kicked in by the Knickerbockers. I'm going to go Orlando -2.5 against Philly. Franz versus Paul George. But you got Suggs, Anthony Black up against the likes of Maxey and McCain. I like Orlando. Good bounce back spot here for them. Philly, though, it's a hard one because you'd be tempted to go, well, we can string a couple of wins here together. It's like, yeah, but you also just struggled to get by Charlotte without LaMelo. Yes, it was away. This is at home. I'm going to take Orlando -2.5. I don't feel great about this one, as I usually would have with Orlando. Today was a bit worrisome. They also really struggle with the Knicks, and Philly don't quite have all that perimeter talent that the Knicks have. So let's go Orlando -2.5. Atlanta, go to Milwaukee. Milwaukee, it's Algonquin for the good land. How good is this? The Bucks are 3.5-point favorites up against the Hawks. Trae Young versus Dame. You've got Dyson Daniels maybe to sick on Dame Lillard. You've got Giannis running rampant on dudes, but you've got Jalen Johnson that he's going to check on the other end. The Bucks are 3.5-point favorites. They are at home, though. The way that they're playing at the moment, even on a back-to-back, having just like run over the top of Detroit, I am still going to take the Bucks -3.5. I don't feel great about this one either, but here we are. And then the same thing goes for Minnesota at the Clippers. So I think Minnesota are 3.5-point favorites. I want to check this. Was it favorites or underdogs? But still, Minnesota at the Clippers. Now, the Clippers at home, I just hit on that. They just kicked the crap out of Portland. What's going to happen here? They are, Minnesota are 2.5-point favorites in LA. There's something off about Minnesota. Is it Ant-Man's like raft of children apparently he now has, allegedly? But 2.5 for the Wolves. Can they clamp James Harden and Zoobs? I think they can. I think they're a better team. Norm Powell might still go off. Ant-Man should take it to the Clippers though, shouldn't he? Oh, don't like this one at all. I think I might just go the Clippers. Just Zoobs and Harden and co. But Minnesota are ostensibly a good team. Hold our nose and we'll go Minnesota. Wow. That's I don't like taking 3 road favorites. I reckon, I might have to change that Orlando one. Something was weird about that game. And Philly might be able to ride a bit of Paul George, Maxey, McCain magic. Plus 2.5 there. Minnesota as well against the Clippers. Don't know about that. Even Milwaukee at home against Atlanta. We know that Atlanta beat good teams. Maybe we'll take Atlanta plus 3.5 as the underdog on the road. Milwaukee might win a close one. I don't know. These are really, really strange games. Detroit at Boston, plus 14.5. Can Detroit keep that relatively close, not be a blowout? Maybe not, but we'll take the 14.5. Indy and Brooklyn, I feel okay about that one, taking Indy. Miami hosting the Lakers. I trust Miami more than I trust the Lakers at the moment. That's saying a bit. Spo versus his old student. You got Philly hosting Orlando as home underdogs. Yeah, we'll go Philly plus 2.5. Orlando, it's a bit of a rough one. Atlanta plus 3.5 in Milwaukee. I feel a bit better about that. Dyson Daniels going the clamps on Dame maybe. Jalen Johnson versus the old Giannis. So we'll go Atlanta plus 3.5. And Minnesota, 2.5 point favorites in LA. We'll go Minnesota. I feel a little bit better about those now. All right, well, there you go. That's it. What a day. What a long, fun day this was. It's only going to be more fun because I'm going to 311 UBOT. All right, we will be back on deck for tomorrow to wrap up those 6 games for you and talk through anything else that goes on, which will be a lot, no doubt. So make sure you're following NBA Straya on Twitter, Facebook, IG, TikTok, and of course YouTube. Power rankings will go up today as well. They're always fun. I'll tell you that much. We're all over the socials, you know that. NFL Australia as well. That is now up too. Myself and Gaz talking out week 13, setting you up for week 14. Very fun stuff. Get around the AFLW Today show as well, wrapping up the grand final. Cricket Today podcast. You got the second test starting this week. UBT. Football Today podcast for all your soccer gear. Hold all tickets for your GGs for the week. Subscribe, star, rate, review, like, subscribe, all those shows. I don't have to fight you, but I will. Come on. Help a brother out. Big thanks always go to From Oslo for the intro and outro song, as well as House Hats, Joshua De Laurentiis, Fascinator, Gold Mines, Ramshackle Army, Iowa Section, Green, and Dozers. They're behind all the tunes you hear on the show. They just are. They're all really good bands, so go support them. NBA Straya Sports Australian bands. Listen to them on Apple Music, Spotify. Buy their stuff on Bandcamp, through their sites, whatever. Go hardcore. NBA Straya Sports Australian bands, so should you. All right, that's it. Nothing else today. I've got to skedaddle out of here and go see 311. So I'll catch you tomorrow, you dickheads, with no doubt another review of a show. Go, geez, you made Jim's a bit hungover and a bit, Hashtag spoiler alert for tomorrow's show. All right, this is NBA Straya saying, look after yourselves, would you? And let the hoods at now.